Hey guys, so as you may be able to tell, I've been sneezing quite a bit. For those of you that don't know this, anybody that knows me in real life definitely knows this because they've witnessed this several times. I'm highly allergic to cats, and yet I have 2 cats and they have pretty long fur. I'm also allergic to dogs, but not as much. It really depends on the dog. But yesterday when I was I just like held Pumpkin and Fleur a certain way. Like I was just holding them and like snuggling with them. And ever since then, I have felt like death. And I've been sneezing quite a bit. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Okay. Anyways, so that being said, I don't look the best, obviously, with a pretty red nose, but I felt like this topic would be very relevant, not only for myself and not only just for women, but for men as well. And that's lifting other people up in a sense that even just complimenting people, little simple things. So I've mentioned this before, but I have a job at a coffee shop, as well as my full-time job. But so yeah, I work on the weekends quite a bit, as well as working during the week. So I see quite a bit of people, especially at the coffee shop, and every time I'm on register, I make it a point to say something to someone if I like their shirt, or they have pretty eyes, or I like their hair, or something like that. I'll make it a point to say stuff like that. I'm not gonna just like come up with things out of thin air or just say it, but I really try to find genuine compliments that I actually feel towards them and tell them, because not enough people tell people those kind of things. I think it's the same for guys too, but especially for women. Oftentimes, people either feel like they feel awkward about saying a compliment, or maybe they're insecure, whatever it is. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Oh my gosh. Ew. Sorry guys. This is probably really annoying that I'm like sniffling. Anyways, so I think most people, they either feel awkward or they are insecure about telling someone if they like the way they look, or maybe something about them, maybe even just not. I think the best kind of compliments are actually about someone's character or behavior. So for example, there were 2 girls that were ordering for themselves and their father. Their dad was like waiting outside of the coffee shop with their dog, and I told the girls afterwards, they were probably like 7 and 8 or 7 and 9 or something like that, very young, and I told them that they were very mature for to tell their dad that they ordered really well, because they did. And even if you think that those little things are just very little compliments, or they don't really matter, they do matter. I'm not gonna go into it too much just because I don't know her name. I've forgotten her name, but there was a girl, I don't know when, it was maybe like a week or 2 ago, that came into the coffee shop, and she was with her boyfriend, and both of them were very attractive, and I remember saying something about her eyelashes and saying that I thought she had really pretty eyes and eyelashes, and she was pretty taken aback by that. And granted, this was a very like gorgeous person in general. I think objectively anybody would find her attractive, regardless of gender. But she was taken aback, and basically I found out later, and I'm not going to say how, but she actually ran into someone that I know, and they got to talking, and then she mentioned that experience with me, and how taken aback she was, and even her boyfriend was very taken aback because girls typically don't compliment her, or they treat her rudely. And she was a model. I don't think she's a model right now, but she was a former model. Very pretty. But this is a situation where I think people don't understand that everybody's human, no matter what someone looks like. And this goes the opposite way too. Like, let's say you don't find someone super attractive, but you know they made effort, and you know that they dressed up and you like their outfit or something like that, or what have you. These little things matter to people, and if you can be kind to someone, and again, the best kind of compliments I think are towards someone's character or their behavior, it really makes an impact, and I think it just spreads positivity. And I've said this before, but I do believe in karma, and I think the more positivity you put out, and believe me, I'm not always positive, obviously, and I have been mean to people, I've said rude things, but everybody at some point has done that. But if you can take a step back and just tell someone something simple like that, you can really, even though it's only one person, you could really change their mindset or a little bit of their day, or maybe it would even have a bigger impact, because you don't know what other people are going through. Just like that girl, she is, again, basically anybody would find her objectively beautiful, yet I'm not going to go into the things that I heard about her that she said, but she's dealt with a lot, and she's very young, and you wouldn't know that by the way she looks, and so I think it's very important to always think about those things. And it goes towards guys too. I think a lot of guys, especially if I think there's definitely a stigma with guys, that they can't express themselves emotionally. If they say something nice towards a guy and they're straight, that they'll be thought of as gay or something like that. And that's just really sad. And I think society is changing, especially in the West, the United States specifically. Boys and men are becoming more and more, well, it's becoming more and more accepted to be emotional, to be open, and again, it's not where it should be, or where I would like it to be, or I would say a lot of guys. But it only takes a few people to start a chain reaction, or even just one person. Don't be afraid to say something to someone else, because again, you don't know what they're going through, and it can really have a positive effect. So, that being said, I appreciate when you guys compliment me. Again, I don't, I think I said one time, I've said this before, that I'm not the most attractive person, and I believe that's true. And this isn't me saying that I think I'm ugly or not pretty or something like that. It just means it's just a fact. I'm not the most attractive person in the world. That doesn't mean that I'm, again, lesser. But I don't know of anybody that would be considered the most attractive person, honestly. And I think if you were to say that you were perfect, obviously that wouldn't be true, because I'm obviously and definitely not. But anyways, so I hope you guys are having a great day. Again, I'm sorry for this little car setup. I know you guys understand, and thank you so much for 600 subscribers. The channel is growing faster than I expected it would grow, and I really appreciate, again, the positivity. I very rarely get negative comments, and as far as those things go, I may reply, but I don't do it I don't do it in a serious way, because at the end of the day, even though I present myself as vulnerable, and I am vulnerable, I oftentimes have my heart on my sleeve. At the same time, I have a very thick skin. Just because I cry, just because I have times where I'm emotional, doesn't mean that I'm not strong. And it doesn't mean that I can't stand up for myself, because I definitely can. And this can sometimes seem contradictory, because I think a lot of people think they can take advantage of me because I come off maybe as a little bit vulnerable, but then they find out, especially in real life, that I'm not that way. I'm very strong. And I think it's important to have a thick skin, especially on the internet. But I also think, going back to the subject of this video, is to try to be as nice as possible to people in a genuine way, because that can really make a difference. And I think I've said made a difference so many times. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.
Wise men say only fools question. Oh, well, I can't help falling in love.